Hey, welcome everybody to part three in the soul journey. Um, Melanie, aka Aquarian Essence, is going to be joining me here in a little bit. We are going to be doing live readings here at the end of this. Tonight, we're going to talk about the soul's journey, past, present, and future lives, and how you can access some of that information through your natal chart. So, if you are joining me, please say hi. Um, Sorry, my hair's bothering me tonight. I'm having a Leo moment. Excuse me while I fix my mane. I am a Leo moon, for those of you who are wondering. Um, so whether you're joining me from my YouTube channel, which is Shadows Wisdom, or Mystical Illuminations, or through Facebook, I really appreciate you joining. And I am hoping that tonight is a good discussion. If you want to share this out or invite people, that's great. That would be appreciated also. Um, Tonight, I want to look at how in your natal chart you can look at a few things and help identify past lessons from past lives, and then look at how your natal chart can help you identify lessons that you currently need to learn that did not get completed in previous lives, or maybe it's just a new lesson to your soul in its evolutionary process. And then moving forward, how you can work on learning those lessons or identify what's most likely going to carry over into the next life. So, a lot of that you're looking at Saturn, you're looking at the South Node. The North Node is what's going on in this life, the things that you need to learn. The South Node is past life and what you were meant to learn in that life. For me, for instance, I have my North Node in Leo, so my South Node is in Aquarius. That means that in my past life, I was working on networking and learning how to share the light, how to, you know, share that spotlight with other people. Whereas in this life, I am working on learning how to accept being in the limelight, accept being in everybody's sights, which is a huge issue for me. I don't like the limelight. I'm not the one who likes to be out there in front of everybody. A lot of it comes from personal insecurities. And that's okay. It's what I'm working through. You can also tell when you're looking at your natal chart areas that you no longer need to master because there's a lot of mm, sorry, I have aphasia, so every once in a while I drop words. So the empty houses are areas that you've completed. Those are lessons you've learned, you've accomplished, you've mastered, and so depending on how full or empty your chart is, you may be continuing your soul's progression and have several more lives to repeat, or you may be at the end of your journey. And at the end of your journey, you're going to be given an opportunity to either come back if that's what your soul wants to do. Lots of people do choose to do that in their last life. They choose to come back and just be here, fully awakened individuals. But they come back to be protective of their bloodlines. So a lot of times they'll um, be reborn into a bloodline and just kind of be there to share knowledge, because when they are born, they are fully awoke beings, and they're going to just kind of help direct that family line soul tribe energy can continue to elevate and go through its evolutionary process together. Some people choose to go back and join the great cosmic consciousness. And then for individuals who were, um, hi, Fatima. Yeah, and the Leo moon thing, I am so like, it's conjunct my North Node also in the fifth house. So I'm like, I'm all about family, I'm all about friends. And I'm all about making sure that everybody is cared for with that Leo. But I'm also learning how to accept being in a leadership position and in a position where a lot more attention is directed towards me. So I love teaching, absolutely love teaching, which, goes along with that North Node. Um, I love teaching children. Actually, one of the things that I eventually want to start doing is I want to work on guided meditations just for children. Um, Very cool, very cool. Um, so, um, so your natal chart, again, I am not an astrologer. Aquarian Essence is a master astrologer. She's very knowledgeable. She's been working on teaching me and working with me since 2018 when we met. She's one of my best friends, and she'll be here in a little bit to help us break down the natal chart a little bit more. Um, but from what I can tell you, okay, from when I've channeled charts and things like that, when I'm looking at somebody's chart, I'm going to be able to see the energies that have been brought in from past lives in those houses that have um, a lot of planets in them. Those stellums are big. They, from what I am picking up when I'm reading those natal charts, they mean big lessons. Okay, when you got a stellum in a house, then that house is going to bring you big lessons. Now, being that we are in this lifetime, um, just got a message from Aquarian Essence. She said, give her 10 minutes and she'll be with us. So, with the houses and stellums, you're going to have a lot of energy being directed through that. Okay. You're going to need to focus on what those planetary lessons are. You're going to need to focus on what those house lessons are, because the house is of huge importance. Again, everybody who is joining me, if you notice in any of my videos, I drop words or I pause or I say, please forgive me. In 2001, I had a fever that damaged part of my brain. And so I have transient aphasia. I will drop words, especially when nervous or anxious and things like that. So I want to forgive you guys, or I want to ask for you guys' forgiveness now. Doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. Just means that my brain goes sometimes. So one of the things that I want to talk about first is when you're looking at your natal chart or when you're looking into past life regressions, you're going to be looking into that energy that you were consumed with in that past life. It's not necessarily what life was like. Like in some of my past lives, actually, several of them, I was condemned and I was placed on trial or put into a situation where I was murdered because of my beliefs, because of the things that I did. A lot of them, I can remember lives where I pretty much hung out in the woods, and I was the old woman of the woods who people would come to for medicines and things like that. My lives have been centered around a lot of that, and about bringing people together and bringing them to a place where they could um, accept who they were and accept help from people who were outside of their central ideologies. And in that, that means I was persecuted, and that's fine. In this life, I'm a little bit, I'm moving away from the networking so much as now I'm sitting here and I'm wanting to teach. Um, so rather than um, people coming to me, I'm going to people now. I hope that makes sense. So I have several houses in my chart, which if I had thought about it, I would have brought it up. I sadly don't know how to do all that right now, but I have several of my houses which are empty, which means I've learned those lessons. Like my 12th house, Pisces, is empty. And it actually intercepts into Aries, and then Aries is actually my rising, and it intercepts into, Taurus. So, hi, Shannon. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you guys are here. Um, so, with past lives, you are going to see a lot of what you need to focus on in this life in your natal chart in those houses that have planets in them. Um, and with the stellums, again, those are areas that have probably followed you through multiple past lives. And thus, you are getting kind of the extreme assignment in this life, if that makes sense. It's to teach you all these lessons that you've not overcome in the past. So, present life, stellums, Saturn, and north and south nodes tell you, you know, kind of what's going on with past lives. If you look at your north node, it tells you about this life, and it can allude to your next life, um, especially in areas where you may be lacking. So I know that this is my last life. Okay. I'm not coming back after this. That is a choice I've made. I have a choice to rejoin the consciousness, come back, but my bloodline ends at the end of this life. Once my son passes away, my bloodline is no more. So I see no point in coming back. So unless something changes between now and, when I pass in 40, 50 years, I don't see myself coming back, or I go back to what I was originally assigned to do. So, and that's kind of how it is for everybody. You get a lesson, you work through it, and if you don't, yes, I can talk more about not coming back. Um, and if you didn't work through it in a past life, it's going to carry on into this life. You're going to attempt to fulfill that destiny so that it doesn't carry into the next life, or you're going to kind of end up with a lot of energy in certain, stellums and houses. And those are, you see those more in individuals who are older souls. And that's because we are getting to the end of our lifetimes. We're getting to that final grind of do or die. So Fatima feels like she's not coming back after this. And again, it's your choice. The choice being, if you want to come back, then it is going to be done on a basis of you're going to choose where you're going to be brought back very, very deep, strongly. Like we choose, are we going to be born into a region around our soul tribe and allow ourselves to meet it, right? But as we evolve in our soul duties, we become more directed ourselves in where we want to go. And this is very true with older souls, especially those who are ending their, time here on any dimensional physical reality. So whether it's, on a starseed planet or whatever, you are going to say, I'm done. We're not moving forward. I've learned everything that this soul can possibly contain. And I am going to, door one, come back and be with those people that I am strongly attached to in this life and want to protect. Or I am going to go back and join the universal consciousness. Or if you were originally set out with a specific job, such as a guardian of a plane or of a certain realm, or the Akashic record librarian, so to speak, you have a choice to go back to that position. So one of the things when you're, to those people who are coming upon this video down the line, you're going to know probably that this is coming to you in a time when you're really starting to examine your relationship with people around you, and you may be feeling that you're drawn towards more refined energies. And when I say refined, I mean it just meshes with you. You walk into a room with these people and you can all sit on the phone and do nothing. You can all read books and do nothing. But one person thinks, oh, let's go get sushi. And somebody else will look at you and go, you want to go get sushi? It's getting on that same vibration. And you start really, really connecting with individuals who you're going to start identifying psychic gifts and things with much easier in this lifetime. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope so. I hope so. I am still waiting on Miss Melanie. So the past and present life, they kind of fold over. And then your future life is a chance for you to go in a completely new direction, or it's a chance for you to come back and just be a protective energy to that soul tribe. I have, like I said, my bloodline personally ends after my son passes away. There's no chance that he will be having children. The only way I would even think about coming back was to protect my niece, but she and I are currently estranged, not by choice of my own, but I think that there's very little chance that I would come back. Honestly, my soul is tired. I'm really tired of seeing how humans treat each other. And I'm really tired of some of the lessons that I've had to relearn over and over and over again. And one of those lessons for me is it's okay to do my own thing and to be my own person. And I can do that with or without others involved. But being that Leo moon, conjunct my North Node, it's really wanting me to get out there and be a teacher to people in masses, which is why I am trying to do more lives and trying to become more in touch with the spiritual community and those who are drawn to me. I am, here for you. I love to teach. You don't have to agree with what I say. That's okay. That's part of the wonderful part of life and lessons. We have, at the end of the day, a immense responsibility to ourselves to take what resonates with our soul at that primordial level and leave the rest. People cannot tell you how to practice your spiritual path. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian, um, a Jew, a Muslim, you know, a pagan, um, it doesn't matter what your path is. Nobody can tell you how to connect with the divine energies of the universe and thus the universal consciousness better than your own soul. Okay. And when I was younger, there were a lot of those accusatory conversations with individuals. I live in the Bible Belt, and so I got a lot of that, you know, even as young as 7, 8 years old, you're going to hell because you don't. No, I'm not. I'm. I do not believe that anybody, especially a 6-year-old child who walks outside, and not really having been introduced to the concept of gods and goddesses yet, because that's just not where we were at in my house. We did explore other things. My mom practiced psychic development with me, but we didn't really talk along spiritual paths until I was older. But at 6 years old, I was still going to the Lutheran church down the road. And, that right there is just, to me, the epitome of evidence that the divine leads you on a path that is right for you. That it doesn't matter, some individuals who practice any mainstream religion, they go to a place of worship. Other people stay at home or find that the walking out in nature and just honoring life, that is their place of worship. And those types of beliefs and being able to honor that side of your spirit is what part of that soul evolutional journey is, which we'll get into more next week. But big time, what we're working with is getting to that point where you get that choice to come back, where it's no longer have you learned the lesson. It's you have learned the lessons. Now, do you choose to come back a fully awakened being and share those with individuals, and in doing so, be a pillar in the spirit, in the world, spiritual tribe community, and help other people? Or do you decide that you want to go back and you want to give your soul a break and join the universal consciousness? Or do you, like I said, if you were given a guardianship or an assigned position um, between realms or whatever, then are you going to go back and do that? And you do have that choice. And ultimately, it is, do you get 2 doors or 3 doors at the end of your final life? Um, so when you choose the first path, which would be coming back, all right, you're going to come back with all the lessons that your soul has learned, and you are going to, from a very young age, be what people are calling woke, or what people are referring to as a spiritual guru, or a spiritually in tune being. I can tell you that I remember from 18 months on, having spiritual connections with, my first thing to develop was really mediumship and talking with spirits, and so I was awoke from a very young age. And as I've gotten older, except for the times when I have been put in timeout, which is something we can talk about, or I have purposely shut myself down so that I and my physical being could catch up to my spiritual person. Um, those times are few and far between, but I have been learning and regaining that past soul knowledge back to my first incarnation. So I can tell you where I started, and I can tell you, that I am here now to help. What my soul's goal is to help provide balance and to help bring people together and to really help individuals realize that even though we all walk our own paths, at the end of the day, we're all trying to get to the same place. And therefore, in my humble opinion, as long as you are not attempting to exert power, control, or persuade somebody to do what you feel is right, because that's right for your soul, as long as you're doing things coming from a loving stance, then what's it matter what I worship or how I practice, as long as I'm doing things respectfully. I'm glad that makes sense for you, Shannon. I really do. Shannon says everything that you're saying makes so much sense for anybody who can't see what she's saying. So, our soul starts out as a seedling, all right? It is granted all the universal knowledge. Everything we need is within us at that origin point. And from there, we go out and we lose knowledge and we regain knowledge, and we go through this spiraling maze that is the multiverse in attempts to regain what and access everything that we originally had at oh, Mel's here. We're gonna add her in. Mel. Melanie, can you hear me? Hold on. There we go. Say something, Aquarian Essence. I can't hear. Let's see. All right. So, the basis of this whole life's journey, through the multiverse, through the, expansive, multi-dimensional drifts that, and we're finding even more. We are getting to that point where more older souls are walking into their power, and in doing so, you're muted, Melanie. You muted yourself. So basically, I want you to realize that your past lives, up until this moment, have been getting you to the point to where you can really step into your ultimate being, with your final life being that life that you want to connect, that you actually integrate with your higher self. And we'll talk more about that next week. I want to go back to the timeouts, because I've been in timeouts more than once during this lifetime. So with a timeout spiritually, what we're talking about is an individual has either been not stepping into their power, they're not utilizing the lessons that you're still muted, Aquarian Essence. You are Sorry, my phone's trying to do crazy things. No, go away. There we go. So timeouts. Let me talk about my first timeout. When I was, oh God. Okay, so I learned about my shielding technique and inner sanctums when I was 13 years old. Okay. I went to a psychic who helped me identify and create these things. All right. And in that, she would go on to tell me be very careful about your words, your thoughts, and directing negative energy towards people because you have a strong ability. Okay, as most kids do, I kind of blew that off. Um, Fast forward to about 15, 16 years old. Somebody stole my poetry book. Something I loaned it to them. They refused to return it. For me, this was a huge thing because I had poetry in there from when my brother had passed away, and I had odes to my brother. So anyway, individual didn't return. I was like, "You're cursed until you bring it back, dude." Um, Individual ended up having their truck stolen by a naked person who rammed it into a tree. Same night that I laid out that curse. I was like, oh shit. So, that taught me that I really did need to learn to listen. But also in doing so, I kind of got put on a smackdown. I noticed I wasn't getting messages from the divine and things like that until I went back and I made amends for what I did. Um, so, that was the universe saying, hey, you're abusing the power we've given you, and this is not okay. And so you're going to be put into a timeout. And I think that timeouts can be stuck in a survival mode for people. Also, Shannon, um, the next time I went into a timeout was when I was 24, and that was when my mom died, and I psychologically and emotionally was not in a good space to be connected, and therefore I was protected from those things. I was shut off from being able to access magic because I was extremely emotional. That's not a place you want to be practicing magic from. I was no longer getting any of my mediumship stuff because I was not emotionally able or mentally able even to deal with other energies. I wanted my mom. That's where my focus was. And she wasn't coming to me, and that upset me so much. But then I realized that I was cut off from everything. I couldn't hear, I couldn't see, I couldn't feel those energies that were around me. And that went on for about 2 years. So when my son was born, actually during my pregnancy, um, those things started coming back to me. And I was starting to get in touch with the divine. And when I was pregnant, I used to sit there in a lukewarm bath, and I would just start saying, Oma loves you, and rubbing my belly. I didn't know what that was, but I learned later on. I believe it's Polish. Don't quote me on that. But I believe Oma, OMA, is Polish for grandmother, which I didn't know why I was saying that. It felt very natural. Oma loves you, and I used to sing that to my son. And as time went on, I looked up the words, and it's like, oh, that's my mom connecting with me, you know. And I alluded to at one point that when she passed away, the first time I ever found a four-leaf clover was after she passed that same day, and that was just her telling me that it's going to be okay type thing. So those are timeouts, and I'm not sure Okay, I'm going to rephrase this. There's probably a way to tell in your chart somewhere that you are able to see that you're going to have a timeout at some point, because you can probably see periods where energies are lower and things like that. But I don't know how to do that. What I can tell you is I think that from what I feel, that during times of major transits, major activations, things like that, you may be cut off from the divine as a large, but it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just time to allow the human essence to catch up with the spiritual essence without going overboard. And by doing so, it's really allowing you a chance to take pause and see what areas you have learned up to this point and where you want to take your next focus. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Can you hear me? Aquarian Essence, can you guys hear her? I am not hearing Aquarian Essence at all. So what questions do you guys have for me? Type them in, get them in. Remember, next week we are going to be talking about soul evolution. Hold on. I'm going to put this up here. You can email me. The email is in the description. It's Bree@clearsighting.net, clearsightconsulting.net. And that's going to let you. You can't hear her? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her. So if you guys have questions that you would like me to address in any of my lives, please send me an email. It's BRIE@clearsightconsulting.net. And I will be 100% happy to answer as many of those as I can during the broadcast. You've got my YouTube channel there. I think I've got a couple videos up on like candle snuffing and how to create a circle, things like that. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to do one on divination, especially, connecting with your divination tools here shortly. But for tonight, I'm going to open it up to you guys asking questions. And I am, after that, if you would like to have a 3-card pool done, it's a $20 minimum. When you, you can see my PayPal up there. Spiritually inclined one is Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal. So you don't have any questions, but you're processing what you're saying. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys are resonating with what I'm saying. We'll try Melanie again. Mel, your mic's still muted. So I've got 3 new sets of cards. You will get 1 from each if you are interested. I'll probably throw in a 4th card from my favorite deck. So if you would like to do so, go ahead and you can Cash App me or PayPal me or Venmo me. I'm going to draw 3 cards for the collective. First card is from my Fae Forest deck. Yes. Oh, no, it's not. I lied. It's from my Whispering Woods deck. It's so cute. These are the backs of them. And we get surprises. The most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden, which I think is very apt for what's going on with the consciousness right now. It's reminding you to, you're very interested in starseed origins. If you would like to do, I can do a reading with you to help identify that. It is something I offer, and it comes with a natal chart interpretation. Um, you can book with me through clearsightconsulting.net. There are also several other readers out there who do that. Our Making Magic deck is telling us to work with the element of air to cut through the core of a situation and see the truth. So this is reminding you to be vigilant. Again, with the surprises, keep your eyes open. Work with the magic of air to help dispel illusions. Don't forget to breathe. Air is all about breath, in my opinion. It's also one of the only elements which is found in every other element. I have this huge thing about. We're going to try this again.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can kind of hear you.
For some, I had to switch to my desktop, and I don't know why my microphone's not working on
Can everybody else hear her?
phone. So I don't know.
Hold on, I may have to put my ears in for this because I'm old and something.
Yeah, and my microphone is on my OBS, and I have not been able to get it to switch off of it for.
You just started clearing money related, clean.
So
with past lives, spirits. I've taken a vow of poverty in life and had shame around money in more than one past. So what that's telling me is if you're experiencing a bunch of issues regarding money, yes. Mel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I switched to my desktop, but my webcam is wired in through OBS, and it will not switch over to StreamYard. So
hold on just a second, guys. I'm gonna go. Oh, wait, there we go. Say something, Mel.
Something.
I don't know why I'm.
All right. I believe the sun Uranus going through my 11th house ever since it hit there on May 17th. Electronics have not been friendly to me.
I can't hear you. I'm sure everybody else can, but I can't.
It's okay. So yeah, so I'm not able to.
Haha, I can hear you. I'm just deaf, you guys.
Now I'm hearing a second.
I can hear you. Can everybody still hear me? Okay. All right. So let's go back into Melanie.
All right.
Hold on. I'm going to do this last card pull for the collective, okay? And this one's from my favorite of the, because it's a Forest Day deck, and I love the Fae.
All right, audio's a little choppy for me.
Oh my God, I got this card the other day. The Forest Walker, keep courage and be gentle. So again, this is about, all of us remembering to stay strong in the face of adversity and to be gentle, not only, yes.
You're a little muffled. Yeah, you're a little muffled. I'm hearing you muffled too.
I can hear you.
Okay, but you sound muffled. Even yeah, Amber's and Faith both say you sound muffled, kind of messed up. Can you try without your headphones, or do you need your headphones in?
Oh, we will have to try something next week. Okay, I can't hear you, Mel, but everybody else can. So,
can you hear me now? You can't hear me, can you?
Hold on.
Did Mercury go retrograde for April Fool's and forgot to go back or something?
Hold on.
This is. Let's see here.
Okay, say something again.
We always have electronic issues together. Whenever it never fails, and also doesn't help that she has an iPhone and I have an Android. That usually seems to mess things up too.
Okay, is my audio better now?
You're kind of far away. You're really distant. Well, Face she can hear us both, but you're a little distant from me. But I can hear you, but it's really low. Just just as long as everybody else can hear you, that's the most important part.
You can hear both of us well. That's the important part. I now, well, and Amber, here's the thing. Honestly, um, uh, Aquarian Essence and I, when our energies get together, it, like I keep inviting her to come to my house, to come hang out and all that. And I know the moment she does, we're gonna end up with a like a power
Yeah.
outage. Um, I had those issues with my sister when she lived here, and who's gone?
Who's gone? Uh-oh.
No. Anyway, so when my sister lived here, anytime we would get into an argument, now mind you, my sister was she was a Virgo moon, a Sagittarius sun, and what was she rising? Mel, do you remember?
Oh.
I don't remember what she was rising. Oh, we're down to one person.
Oh, she can only hear. Okay, you can only hear me. Yeah. Yeah, you're really distant. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you might want to try the headphones again.
Okay, I can hear you better now. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes, can hear you great. Can you hear me?
Sweet. Okay, so what I was saying was I keep inviting Aquarian Essence to come, have a little vacation with me, so she can help me get all my shiznit organized so I can start being the crafty woman that I am. And I know as soon as she does that we're going to have like a power outage. We used to have those with my sister, who was also Sagittarius. She was a Virgo moon, and I don't Virgo moons and I can rub the wrong way. And I forget what her rising was.
I can't remember the rising is either.
I think it was Cancer. I think she's Cancer. Is she Cancer? I don't know. So
Let's take a peek real quick.
yeah.
So
to go with our theme from the Oracle deck, choices. This is reminding the collective to, make your choices wisely, to be aware. All right, Mel, back to you.
All right, so you guys were talking about with Soul Origins. You were talking about being shut down. And I know that we had talked about like karmic points and stuff like that with past lives astrologically, like in your natal chart. And I just want to say retrograde planets, anything with Saturn to certain asteroids, and definitely Saturn conjunct South Node, that's some major like past life karmic stuff. Being shut down is not always necessarily a bad thing. I've been shut down a couple of times. And it's usually during like really high emotional times. Back when I was younger, because I've been practicing for over 20 years, so I'm very aware of the shutdown times. And then I wanted to just let everybody know, like if you know your charts, look for the retrogrades. Retrogrades are major because a lot of times with those retrogrades, you have to work through it, and sometimes even the opposite sign that it's sitting across from, a lot of times to unlock or to re-unlock things, or to go through another reactivation. But I also know that a lot of times we will, like as a collective, we can be shut down, even like small collective groups, like soul family groups, and reactivated again. But a lot of like it can be seen in your natal chart. But definitely retrograde, Saturn, South Node, and certain prominent asteroids will show that. Like DNA.
I'm gonna post. I'm gonna show my natal chart. I think. I hope.
If you don't have any retrogrades, that's awesome. That's very significant too. That shows that when you have no retrogrades, and that's like Chiron doesn't count, asteroid retrogrades don't count. It means that when you were born, you came in with all of your gifts activated. Which is good. Now there could have been something that could have happened through childhood or before you turn 13, a lot of times I could like lock it down like something traumatic. Something traumatic can either shut you down or open you up. But generally, and I've noticed it's a lot of Sagittarius and Scorpios are born with no retrograde planets. But no, that just shows that you came in with everything just locked and loaded and ready to go. Yeah, the nodes are always retro. They stay retrograde, and like asteroids, they retrograde a lot, and the generational planets like Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, they retrograde like a lot. Like I think a lot of times they stay more in retrograde than they do. They only stay retrograde for long periods of time. So so Chiron doesn't count because Chiron's not a planet. It's just a recent asteroid they discovered, and the nodes are always in retrograde. They stay retrograde. Now, if you have nodes that are like, for an example, I have a South Node in Aquarius and I'm an Aquarian Sun. So they'll say a lot of times if your nodes match up to like your sun sign, like opposite or the conjunction, that could be showing like a completion of a cycle as well. And that can be very karmic and have a lot to do with past life. But no,
can you guys see that at all?
Just see some blackness. Your Virgo, Leo, Moon, Cancer rising.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you pull up my chart?
Yeah, let me go
and screen it because it's not letting me screen it from my phone.
Yeah. Give me just a moment here.
Virgo Sun, Leo Moon, Cancer rising.
Love Leo moons. Ever since I got the biggest tattoo of in my body is it's a Leo moon. Well, it's a big crescent moon on a Leo symbol. And ever since then, like Leo moons come into my life like nobody's business. Because when you get a tattoo, you mix blood into it and that's bringing life to it. So ever since then, like every other person I know is a damn Leo moon. But I love Leos though. I love Leos. I love Leo moons a lot too. Let's see here. And being a Virgo, I have a Virgo stellium, so I feel your pain. I do. I totally understand what Virgos go through when dealing with other people and people's ignorance to the details of life.
I have very little in Virgo.
Oh, that's your solar return. Yeah, all of yours kind of.
But I mean, okay, like for me, Capricorn is my nemesis because literally nemesis is in Capricorn for me. But I am actually a progressed Capricorn, so I'm my own worst enemy.
Found it. No, I just gotta grab it. Oh, didn't let me hit that button.
I think Mel and I are gonna go get married in Las Vegas.
But yeah, by a Prince impersonator on motorcycles.
That's right. Look, she bought me this ring. It's my engagement ring to her. Sorry, I'm not good with uncomfortable silences. You have a Libra stellium in the 4th.
Ooh, in the 4th, that beautiful homes. Anytime we have Virgo, Libra, Taurus energy in the 4th house, that brings a lot of beauty in the home. I bet you have a beautiful home, or you can decorate. But usually Virgos usually have like a soft elegance to the decoration. They don't like too much gaudiness or too much clutter, or too much. Libras too, like they like things to be really elegant. And Virgo's more simple. Maybe Libra might have like a little bit more to it, but that's good. That's gives you like a nice strong Aries in the 10th house, which Aries being ruled by Mars, that exalts off that Mars energy there. That's pretty good. It's been a while since I've been on my desktop.
George is up moving around, so I'll be back in a minute.
All right, I'm gonna sit here.
Please carry on.
Mess with this. So, yep, I call Virgos. They are the Ken and Barbados of the zodiac because they're just perfect. Like when they leave out of the house, it's like always on point. Like just everything just right where it needs to be, just perfect. All right, I'm going to have to convert this, be able to put it on StreamYard. So let's see here. It's been a pain in the butt. Here we go. All right, so all right, so if everybody give me just a moment here, get this. Let's see here. I always have to reformat it, and that always takes a minute. And there we go. All right. I think I might have to send it to her. I think she has to be the one to throw it up there. Yep. Well, it was nice to meet you too. So
Okay, I'm back.
I'm gonna have to send it to you. I formatted it. I'm sending it to you. You're gonna have to be the one to throw it up there.
Well, no, I have it. It's just it won't let me screen it.
Well, here, this might help. Well, I know Streamer is very picky about the format of yeah.
I think it's probably because I'm on my phone versus computer.
All right, check. Is it a messenger? Try upload that because it's a format that Streamer will take. Streamer, it's picky.
Like, hold on.
And just grab the messenger, save it, and then you can throw it up there.
I saved it.
All right.
So we're doing layout.
Now, Servanta has a very interesting chart. She's got a Sun conjunct Uranus, which explains so much, which explains her quirkiness and why she's very different and wants to beat her own drum. She's got a wicked conjunction. Basically, it's like it would be considered like a starseed stellium, but not all starseeds have just stelliums. There's other types of aspects too that starseeds can have, but she's just got a nice little bowl there of all those planets. You put it as a background.
Did that do anything?
Yeah, put it in. It's our background.
Oh.
Can you do it as a share, like for there should be a spot there for you to be able to share a picture and do an overlay of it. Do like an overlay, or
I'll probably have to get the computer up.
You should be able to do it from your phone. I've done it from my phone. Now, if my big head wasn't in the way, you'd be able to see it.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Bree, I would technically I would have to say that
it's not letting me do it from the phone.
She's not necessarily, I would not say she's necessarily a starseed. She's something a little bit different, but that correlates and connects to starseeds, just like being like a Heyoka. Like there's some people that portray some character traits of Heyoka, but they're not necessarily Heyoka, but they have links to Heyokas. So I'm not gonna say technically I would say not necessarily. She's not necessarily a starseed, but she's definitely got a connection to them.
But yeah, I don't know what it's doing.
I don't think everybody.
Okay.
I think a large percentage of people are starseeds, but I don't believe that everybody is a starseed.
Yeah. So. Oh, thank you, Faith. Fatima. So everybody, all souls who have had more than one incarnation will at some point be a starseed. And a starseed simply means it doesn't necessarily mean that was where you first incarnated. It means that you did time on that planet.
Or multiple different planets, because when I look through people's starseed placements, it's multiple places.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that from Earth here that have only recycled here only on Earth.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people who
never been on Earth before.
Are only one or two lives. We are actually getting a lot of those, but they are advanced souls nonetheless, because their soul has been waiting for when it was directed to incarnate. So even though they don't have a ton of experience with their soul, they have a ton of knowledge from watching. So if you follow on Instagram, I've been doing daily energy updates. And I do those, most of them. I do them when I wake up. So these are very, right out of the ether type things. And today was a through the looking glass day. It's like we've stepped into um, another level today, going through the 4-4 portal, which is, going to affect us for a while, but still we've like walked through the looking glass, and a lot of souls who are being born, we're going to just call them the COVID babies, because that's, they're being born post COVID or during the COVID. And they're coming in with a lot of knowledge, just merely from watching and listening and interacting on the soul realm. So they may not have incarnated as a star seed, but they hung out around, and later on they're going to probably go back and be incarnated as a star seed.
So just like a lot of babies that were born after 2012, those are the babies that any babies born after 2012, they are coming in with no karmic baggage. They have complete clean slates. Some of them are very old souls, but coming in on a new cycle. So that's why like babies right now, like born up 2012, are off the chain. That's why they are, if you've noticed, they're highly aware, extremely beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous babies. And they are very advanced, super advanced compared to like when we were babies or when we had babies.
And those 2006 to 2012 babies are extremely psychic or extremely excuse me, guys. Connected into the magic tapestry. And they have some major hitters as far as protective energies around them.
Yeah,
it's really
they're really strong.
Huh?
They're really strong. They're really strong, and a lot of them are not aware of how strong they are. Like my disrupt the track when she's mad at me.
I refer back to the time that George, when I was checking on him energetically, when he kicked me out of the house, psychically. So it looks like we have lost our viewers. So I'm going to say we're at an end for today.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of interference, which
next time. You want to come back next week with me for Soul Evolution?
We'll do a test run and I'll come on with you at the exact same time, so then we don't have to worry about it. I said we'll do a test run to come on together at the same time, so we can,
sounds good.
So we don't have to worry about interference.
All right. Well, I'm sending everybody who's watching or who does watch later on bright blessings, shadow kisses, always. And then you're very welcome, Fatima. I hope you guys. Oh, well, sorry, Amber. And I'm glad you guys will be next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Because it's Mars. That's going to be a last of our soul series, really. After that, we're going to talk a little bit more about spiritual guides and their role in our soul journey. And then if you guys are interested in having a soul origins reading or booking with Aquarian Essence or myself, please check out clearsightconsulting.net. Link is in the description. If you would like a reading from one of us, you can book with us there. Again, if you have questions in regard to next week's Soul Evolution, please email me, Bree at clearsightconsulting.net. I will take emails up until 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that Tuesday, and I will do as many of them as I can. Um, so this is a good chance for you to look back through the previous 3 episodes. If you have questions from those, email them to me. I'll address them next week also. Okay?
And we're
So love you guys.
and so Origins, we definitely have to talk.
Stay safe,
about
protect your energy, all that good stuff. Okay?
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye.